notes with Mataji. So, are you able to open that PDF?
I'll make you the host, co-host, so that you can also share.
Thanks, and it passed. Like I could create issues.
Yeah, I think I will share it with Ashray Prabhu also. Maybe just check whether this PDF is opening. If there is issue, maybe I will try to resend it.
You'll be sharing it here or on WhatsApp, Prabhu?
On WhatsApp, I have shared. Just check if, because I have a lower version of this one PDF, I need to upgrade that. So if you are able to open it. Yeah. So before our Ashray Prabhu opens that PDF, actually I was discussing with Ashray Govind Prabhu that this actually Deity Worship course is a 6-month full-time course in Mayapur and Vrindavan. And what we understand from Deity Worship, or the course is like it is the Achman, Aarti, Bhoga offering, and to maximum Shodoshopchar. But there are many other things that are connected to it, and basically it is the philosophical understanding on the subject of deity worship. So that is very important. Without understanding philosophy, it is very difficult. We cannot develop that mood, and that particular we will not be able to develop that loving relationship with the Lord. Okay, it is all about how to develop loving devotional service. Basically, when we chant the holy names of the Lord, we are asking, or for the requesting for the services, and it may be the services may be of any form. Since this is a deity worship seminar, our emphasis will be on the deity services. But in the spiritual world, all services are absolute, or it may be cleaning a floor, or washing a vessel, or offering the aarti to the deities. Okay, it's all on an absolute plane. It's the same, this thing. But since this is a deity worship seminar, our emphasis will be on the deity worship services. So, I would, have practical plus, theoretical session. I'll emphasize at least maybe first few, one or two, sessions on philosophy, and then we go to the practicals. Okay, like the Achman. The first thing that we do in the deity worship will be the Achman part that we will be learning. So here in this. If you see the preface, here there are some, some of the quotes of Srila Prabhupada and the way he wanted the deity worship to be conducted in ISKCON, the mood that we should have, and the kind of instructions that he gave to his disciples. That I think we will read it, and then we will. If there are any points, important points we will be discussing here. And if there are any questions, you can, you can always ask me. Okay, anytime. You can interrupt me also. So, in preface, soon after beginning the Krishna consciousness movement, Srila Prabhupada established the process of deity worship as an integral aspect of his fledgling society. Just as he delivered the message of Lord Krishna intact, he also presented the process of deity worship intact, seeing it as a practical means of applying the basic principle of Krishna consciousness, offering everything to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada wanted the deity worship in ISKCON to follow certain standards. Also, very soon, I shall send you one complete set of instructions on worshipping the deity, and you can print in English and distribute this book. This book shall be named as Method of Worship. So the notes which I'm sharing is from the same book, The Method of Worship. This book is, given as a hand manual to all the devotees who are doing the course in Mayapur or Vrindavan. So I'll be sharing all these notes with you all, and whenever there is a time, I know you can read through it, go through that. What's more, Srila Prabhupada wanted the level of worship in ISKCON temples to be high. Unlike that at so many temples in India where standards were being lowered, Srila Prabhupada wrote, regarding deity worship, the standard of deity worship must be kept very high in all our ISKCON centers. There should be no question of decrease, only how to increase in the quality and opulence of our arcana offerings. Thus, the devotees were to worship the deities not whimsically, but according to the instructions of spiritual master. Only in this way should Krishna be pleased and Krishna consciousness movement flourishes. Otherwise, havoc would result. The greatest danger to our movement will come when we manufacture and create our own process of worshipping the deities. This is very important point what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. There is especially in the department, DT department, there is scope for a lot of speculation. Okay, we may manufacture many things. So it is always important to follow the authority. And for that reason, what we are doing is we are connected to Mayapur temple, and whatever instructions, anything that we have to do, any changes that we do, we always consult either Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu in Mayapur, who is the head pujari there. Jananivas Prabhu, he doesn't respond now because of his health. But otherwise, Bhanu Maharaj, we write him mails on certain changes or anything, any guidance we want. So that will protect us from speculating and manufacturing. And this is what Srila Prabhupada did not want, manufacturing our own things and speculating and doing this. The deity worship should be done just in the way it was carried out in my presence. You should see that such a high standard is maintained and there is no irregularities. Irregularity means breaking the schedule. So, now what we are going to talk, it will be for, the temples. Now, at Bhakti Sadhans or, for our own house deities, we can have a very, simple standards which we can maintain it. Okay, but this principles are very important because tomorrow we see the Bhakti Sadhans growing to as a temple in future. So we should know these things. For the most part, however, it seems Srila Prabhupada was satisfied that his devotees are following the instruction faithfully. Thus, Krishna gave them the intelligence to serve him properly. I have invited Krishna, and he may not be insulted by disrespectful behavior. I have introduced this system of deity worship amongst the non-believers, the atheists, the mlechas, the yavanas, and I pray to Krishna that I am inviting you to come. So please, because you are seated in their heart, please give them the intelligence how to serve you so that you may not be inconvenienced. I have introduced this system to mlechas and the yavanas and the lower the lowest and the fallen, but still it is successful. So this is a very important a statement of Srila Prabhupada, and also a concern that Srila Prabhupada has, that see, the important thing here is deities which are there, they are actually invited by the spiritual master. They are invoked, and and uh, when pure devotees and our spiritual master invite, the Lord comes, and in the form of deity. Okay, we have a deity installation process where you see many of the ISKCON GBCs, many spiritual masters, they come and they lovingly invite the Lord. That's how the Lord comes. And Srila Prabhupada has given this responsibility that the to us, that he has invited the Lord. He's saying that he has invited Lord, but he's giving to very low class people. But still, he has the faith in his disciples that and other devotees, that they will continue the process of deity worship as defined by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Chaitanya and the 6 Goswamis recommend the system of deity worship Srila Prabhupada introduced into ISKCON. It is known as Pancharatrika system of deity worship. He has demonstrated that the principle of Pancharatra are applicable to all Vaishnava regardless of background. The Pancharatrika system has the most authorized code of transcendental devotional service. The Pancharatrika system is both practical and suitable for this age of quarrel. Pancharatra is more important than the Vedanta for this modern age. Vaishnavas accept 108 Pancharatra text as authoritative regarding initiation, daily duties, deity worship, and conduct, character of devotees, installation of deities, and temple construction. Srila Sanatan Goswami and Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami, on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order, compiled a book of Vaishnava standards called as Hari Bhakti Vilas. So basically, this book is derived from the book, Hari Bhakti Vilas, and also the Nectar of Devotion, okay, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So both, books. This, actually, this book was originally designed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and it was in Bengali, which was then translated by disciples. And Prabhupada gave many instructions, and then his disciples, they have made this. Based on the Pancharatra and numerous other texts, all bona fide followers of Sri Chaitanya accept the Hari Bhakti Vilas as authoritative concerning the arcana or deity worship. Devotees who actually engage in devotional service with faith and love are inspired by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vaishnavas are never concerned with the ritualistic Smarta Brahmanas. Srila Sanatan Goswami has therefore compiled Hari Bhakti Vilas to guide the Vaishnavas who never follow Smarta Vidhi. So here, one important point that I always say that deity worship is not about just doing the arti or bhoga offering. It is more than that, because without philosophical understanding, we will become a ritualistic people. So, like Smarta Brahmanas, what is mentioned here. So we are not ritualistic people. Okay, we are devotees of the Lord, and then there is devotion connected to each and every service that we do. So when we are doing vessel cleaning for the Lord, it should be done with loving devotional service. It's a loving devotional service. So even if we are brooming the floor for the Lord, it should be done with that devotion and love. Same way, whenever we are doing arti, so there are many mantras, mudras there, but along with that, the most important aspect is the devotion. Okay, because Lord accepts the bhava. So bhava grahi janardana, like that. So he accepts the bhava of the devotion. Otherwise, we become ritualistic. So Lord is not at all, happy, or he's not at all impressed with our, the way artistically, or we may rotate the arti or agarbatti or whatever we offer, or the best of offerings we give. But if there is no devotion, so it is of no use. So Lord says this in Bhagavad Gita also, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya. So that devotion is the the important factor of the worship. So if we understand this, and if we have a proper sadhana, that means if we are chanting properly with love and devotion, automatically we also feel what do you say, eagerness to serve, and then there is also devotion that also comes. So attentive chanting is very important, because attentive chanting will lead to attentive services. Okay, so and otherwise, like inattentive chanting, again inattentive services. So a lot of prajalpas go on while we are worshipping the like when we are worshipping the deities, or dressing the deities. We may talk many gramya kathas, so which is not good. Okay, so when we are with the Lord, so we should be focused. How, see, this is basically deity worship in this world is basically our internship. Okay, that we because when we go to the spiritual world, we will be directly worshipping the Lord there. So this is just like a practice for us. Okay, so that's why we have to do it with very attentively, just as Mother Yashoda, how she feeds the Lord. The same way, with that devotion we should offer bhoga to the Lord, or the way the gopis dresses, or the Mother Yashoda dresses the Lord. That loving in that loving fashion we should be able to serve the Lord. So that is very important. Then Srila Prabhupada established deity worship all over the world as an essential part of Krishna consciousness movement. As this movement continues to expand by the grace of Lord Chaitanya, this planet may one day be transformed into Vaikuntha, a spiritual abode where in every town and village devotees worship Krishna's deity form and chant his holy names. This book, assigned and approved by the governing body Commission of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is called the Method of Worship. The ISKCON Deity Worship Ministry has published this book for the members of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So this was a preface, and this was very important, where we understand Srila Prabhupada's instructions, his concerns, like that. So far, do we have any questions or anything to discuss? I hope you are able to understand and
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question. So, deity worship, like once we know the procedure, how to do the worship, deity worship. So, people who have taken shelter, not yet initiated, also can, we have already started, but we can follow and regularly make a practice of it, right?
Yes, correct. So those who see now, the highest temple has always the highest standard of deity worship, but there is a scope for every devotee to come and serve the deities. So it can be making garlands, so which may not need to go inside altar and do it. So if you are sheltered, a Guru Ashray or Prabhupada Ashray, so you can always do the flower garlands for the deities. You can clean the floors for the deities. You can clean the vessels. For that there is no restriction. So if you are sheltered, then it's fine. You can always do that. This is basically followed in temple, but in I think sadhans and all, I think devotees, the local devotees should take a stand there, like what standards you want to follow. So like that it is.
Only one question I have. So this manual which is there, so this is I think volume 1 of the manual, I guess, right? So
Yes.
so when it comes to the rituals part, I mean, if we need not refer to this manual, right? Because this will be in much great detail,
Yes, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Uh,
There is a concise version also in this, and this in the volume 1 we have basic, like Achman and all are there. And importantly, there is a Vaishnava etiquettes also, part of Vaishnava etiquettes also, like how one should, when we wake up, what we should do.
Okay.
Okay, how we should brush our teeth, take bath, types of bath, so there are many details are there. So etiquettes are there. Okay, so then changing of Upavita is there, Gayatri is there, like that, so many details are there in that. So I think since many are sheltered or Harinam initiated devotees, we may not touch those part, but etiquette part, I think we will be covering. Okay, and also other, like important Achman and other things.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, how long should we go? Because we were supposed to start at 7.
We can go until
So
8:30, Prabhuji. 7:30 to 8:30.
Acha, okay, fine.
And can this
So,
be a weekly session, Prabhuji? Same day, like 7:30 to 8:30?
yeah, I'm fine with
Yes.
this. Yeah. Okay, so so then what I will do is I will prepare a concise version. Okay, and what we are going to learn, and then I'll share it with you, and then we will just read that and try to discuss same thing. Okay.
Sure.
So next we go to the introduction of this, that is introduction to the deity worship. Why perform deity worship? Srila Rupa Goswami has enumerated 64 activities by which a devotee begins in the beginning stage of devotional service. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti can engage all his senses in the service of the Lord. Amongst these, he has selected 5 principles, 5 important principles, that is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, association with advanced devotees, living in a sacred place such as Mathura was, and chanting the holy names of the Lord, and serving the deity form of the Lord with great faith. Practicing these items assures rapid advancement in devotional service, culminating in pure love for Krishna. The power of these 5 principles is very wonderful and difficult to understand. Even without faith in them, a person who is offenseless can awaken his dormant love for Krishna simply by being a little connected with them. At least 35 of the remaining 59 items are directly related to the worship of the Lord in his deity form, Archa Vigraha. Therefore, in the last 5 items of the deity worship is especially significant, since it includes a wide range of activities devotees perform daily. In fact, this single item, Archana, is itself expanded into 64 activities, many of which in turn find their counterparts amongst the 64 Angas, limbs of devotional service. So basically, Rupa Goswami writes this in, the Nectar of Devotion, the 64 Angas of the devotional service. Out of 64, the 5 are very prominent, as described here. And other other 59 which are there. So in those 59, 35 are directly related to the deity worship. Like when you are entering the temple, ringing the bell, and there is a bell. So ringing the bell is also one of the angas of the deity worship. Then circumambulating the deities, in the temple. So that is also one of the form of deity worship. So like that, there are 64s, and in that these 5 are very important. The Lord is present in his deity form. Sri Rupa Goswami especially enjoins devotees to worship the deities with full faith. So having faith, that the deity is present in this form of deity, or in the picture of the deity, is very important. Shraddha Visheshata Priti Sri Murter Angrahi Sevane. With love and full faith, one should worship the lotus feet of the deity. This faith and love depends on the proper understanding of the deity's identity. Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Vrajendra Nandan. My dear Lord, you are not a statue. You are directly the son of Maharaj Nanda. Out of his causeless mercy, the Lord appears in his Archavigara form, so the conditioned soul can see him and worship him. By worshipping the Archavigara, the conditioned soul can engage all their senses in devotional service. By enthusiastically performing sadhana bhakti and observing all the regulations of archana, devotees cultivate the understanding that Krishna is directly present in the form of the deities. So, as we were reading in the preface, so it is his pure devotees who invite him. We see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Advaita Acharya, he is the cause, to bring Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world, because because of his calling, Mahaprabhu came here. Similarly, our spiritual master, okay, and Srila Prabhupada, by their, by their invitation, the Lord comes in the form of deity. I think we have also covered this in our very basic Bhagavad Gita sessions, that how the example of copper wire, which has electricity. Okay, the example of this is given, that a normal copper wire and a wire that contains electricity, both may appear same. Okay, but the wire with which having electric current, it may give you a shock. So similarly, the deity may look same as a statue, but when it is invited and installed, the same deity, it is the Lord himself, and Lord is accepting all the services, whatever we are offering to him. So that faith one we should have. As Srila Prabhupada says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, worship of Archa Vigraha is not idol worship. The Archa Vigraha is an incarnation of Lord in the form appreciable by a devotee. Therefore, devotees engage in the temple in the service of the Lord as Archa Vigraha, a form made of sthula, material objects such as stone, metal, wood, jewels, or paint. All these are called sthula, or physical representations. Since the devotees follow the regulative principles of worship, even though the Lord is there in the physical form, he is not different from his original spiritual form. Thus, the devotee gets the benefit of achieving the ultimate goal of life, that is to say, becoming always absorbed in the thought of the Lord. So, since we have this gross body, and we will not be, we cannot see the Lord's transcendental form. So Lord comes in the form of the deity. Okay, so here there are different stula forms that he comes into. So either he comes as a in a form of a stone deity, or a stone, like for example, Shaligram Shila is a stone. Okay, but it is the Lord Himself. Shaligram Shila does not require a formal installation. Okay, the Shila itself, is it's a Lord Himself. Or sometimes the Lord, deities are carved out of stone. So the deities are made of stone. Like most of our ISKCON temples, we see that deities are like marble deities. We have black marble or white marble deities. So what we see. Then it can be a metal deity, like we have most of the Nitai Chaitanya deities and all. Like in our temple also we have deities. Or it can be made of wood that we call as Daru Brahma, Jagannath, who's or deities are also made of jewels or paintings, or the photos of the deity. So most of the bhakti siddhans or homes, we may have the photos of the deities. So they are non-different from the deities. So if you have the our Sheshadipuram Jagannath photo, so they are, if you're worshipping them at your home or your bhakti siddhan, they are receiving, the deities are receiving it. So it is very absolute. So, because we are not able to see him, he comes mercifully, in the form of stula, form. That is, and so that we can touch him, dress him, we can bathe him, like that. So he mercifully allows us to, serve him. So far, any questions out there? Anything that you did not understand, or
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Actually, like many times people have this. So you said like about the photo, right? Photo is also the deity. So if I, for example, I take a card of one ISKCON, right, which has the photo. So
Okay.
like, do I have to worry about keeping it in a proper condition? Like that kind of question I have.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Because
Very
it gets
valid.
a little, it gets a little stressful also.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. So yes, this is a very valid question. So we should respect, the small photo or whatever, like whatever we have. We can, if required, we can laminate it so that it lasts long. Okay, we can keep it. But we should be very respectful for the photos, because they are non-different, from the Lord Himself. He is the Lord present in that picture form, like that. And in case if it gets like worn out, or like that, so we can respectfully discard it. We can place that photo under a tree, or we can we can leave it in the river. Okay, or we can also put it in yagya also, yagya, or this thing like that, in the fire, like that, sacrificial fire, basically.
An
But
extension of that question is that generally when we get those calendar pictures, right?
yeah,
So all the old calendar pictures, they keep on piling up. So
yes,
we do not know how to respectfully, I should not use the word dispose, but how to respectfully handle them. We do not
yeah,
know. So in yagya offering, it can be used, Prabhuji, the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
any yagya which is going on. So
yeah.
we can use the pictures, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can put the pictures there, or if you are going to the spiritual places, like dham yatras, so we can take them with us. We can generally in the ponds and all, let's not put it, because it may create pollution and all, like from material perspective, it may other people may see it as a polluting things. But for the rivers, we can respectfully discard, or to what do you say, auspicious and these trees which are there, like Ashwatha trees there, or like that. Those under those trees, we can respectfully keep it.
One more question which relates to this, that we may have some paintings of, say, BBT, or we may have a photograph of certain deities in temples. So is there any difference between the two, or are they same? Because generally we say you should not point your feet towards the deities. And again, the picture in the altar and out of altar, is there any difference between the two? Because sometimes when we sleep, there may be pictures throughout on all four walls of devotees' houses. So we may be showing our feet. The feet may be pointing towards the deity. So the picture in the altar and outside of the altar, is there any difference, Prabhuji?
Yeah, and on the absolute plane, yes, there is no difference, as we have already seen here. So the DT form and the picture, they are the same. So, if you have the photo of Jagannath, it's the same Jagannath in the photo and the DT. There is no difference. So, yes, your question is like, when we are sleeping, it may be like, all around. So one we can do is, whichever direction we are sleeping, we should ensure that, the photos are not at the feet, or if it's not if it is at a height also, because generally on the walls top side we put it, so that's fine. Okay, so also whenever you get up, okay, you also see the darshan of the Lord first, so that also could be this thing. So it should not be directly pointing. See, pointing the legs directly towards the deity is one thing, but in the same direction, if it is like at the height, then it's fine. Like, for example, we have, in Mahabharata, we see that, when Lord was sleeping, Duryodhana and Arjuna came. Arjuna was sitting at his feet, and Duryodhana at his head. But when Lord woke up, he saw Arjuna first. So similarly, maybe, whenever we see, whenever we sleep and wake up, we can see the Lord, and Lord sees us like that. If possible, we will try to avoid it on the where we direct our feet, but if it is there, it can be at a height also.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhu, just to
Yes, ma'am.
clarify, so is it not okay to keep them in a drawer, the photos?
It can be kept in the drawer, or it can be kept in the book also. Sometimes we use that as a bookmark also. Okay, but it can be kept in the respectfully. Basically, it cannot be kept in a drawer. Should not have some dirt or dirty things there like that. So it should be kept in a proper clean place.
Thank you, Prabhu. Also, like this photos and paintings in this modern era, it has got a lot because of the advancements, right? But the Panchratri texts, so do they specifically say these things like you said that it's okay to point the legs if it is at a height and these aspects. So do they deal with these kind of subjects also?
No, you meant to say like that they are AI generated images of the deities or something like, or
No, Prabhu. I mean, so having this convenience of paintings and photos at home, this is only possible in the modern era, right? So in the ancient era, probably every person's home couldn't have 10 pictures of the Lord, right?
okay, yes,
So
correct.
I'm asking like, is the Panchratri texts, are they like less informative about photos and paintings because of this reason? Like, it's only a philosophical question.
No, see, the paintings were there in the ancient times also. If you see many temples, okay, there's so many beautiful carvings are there. Okay, so similarly, there were paintings. If you see, go to Barsana, Chitra Sakhi. She was an artist. She was drawing so beautiful, paintings of the Lord. So there were, paintings of the deities also, or the form of the Lord.
I remember, I think at Man Mandir also.
Yeah, that blind devotee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So paintings were there. Paintings, see, that's what. Here it is also mentioned that Lord comes in the form of either in a stone or wood or jewel or paint. So that means it is already, and this is from the Pancharatra. That means it's the part of Vedic scripture. So painting was there. There are so many Gandharvas who paints. The so many things were there. Yeah, paintings were there.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, but it is not like it may not be like today. Like we digitize it and we make multiple copies and we keep so many photos around. That may not be there because there were like manually done. Those art was manually done. So if you see many on on the walls there are paintings or carvings there were there. It was there, but it was very limited, not as today.
Another question related to this, like when we say that Archa Vigraha and the paint, there is not much of a difference. So generally, they stress that only in advanced bhakti sadhans or temples they install the deities, and at other places they just keep the photographs. So why is that, Prabhuji?
Because see, when you have deities, you will be able to dress them also. For the photos, you don't generally get to dress them. So dressing requires certain skills, certain qualification. Like so therefore, and there may be if you have number of deities, then you may require that many devotees also strength. So deity paintings are easy to maintain. So you don't need to do dressing and all. You may just have to do aarti and bhoga offering. That's it. So if there are deities, then you may have to also do dressing for them, and then you may also have to do the painting for them. Sometimes like after doing abhishek, you do abhishek or for them. So by doing that, sometimes the paint may worn out. So again, you have to repaint them. So for all these things, you may require devotees, that many devotees. So better to have simple. See? So when there are many devotees, you have good strength, you can keep the deities as well.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So then we go to the next session, that is definition and goal of archana. The regulated worship of Archa Vigraha is one of the 9 processes of devotional service. Prahlad Maharaj lists in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Rupa Goswami gives a specific definition of archana. Shuddhi Nyasadi Purvanga Karma Nirvaha Purvakam Archanam Tupacharanam San Mantre Papodanam. Archana is the definition. Archana is defined as offering of articles of worship, upcharas, with mantras after having performed preliminary purificatory activities, purvanga karma, such as bhuta shuddhi and nyasa. So before we start worshipping the deities, so purification is very important. So like for example, we take bath and clean our body, and then we do the achaman so that we purify our mind with the mantras. There are mantras, and each mantras, then there are different mudras. We first sip the water, and then there are different mudras connected to that. Then there are nyasas and all, so that with that we purify our senses, and then we start the deity worship. So these things we will learn as we progress in our deity worship course. According to Srila Rupa Goswami's definition of archana, deity worship includes a variety of activities, some of which may appear rather technical or even ritualistic. But if one keeps the goal of deity worship clearly in the mind, then the different aspects of archana with its various technical rules and regulations, will be found to serve the purpose, which is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We will, if we understand the meaning of archana, namely formal and regulated offering of respect and service to the Lord, then we may undertake the process of archana with full faith, enthusiastically performing the prescribed procedure of purification, establishing different articles of worship and offering worship. Then we will attain the goal of worship, love of Godhead. Following in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada has given complete instruction on the principle of archana in both his writing and his personal teachings to disciples. He has also given many details of deity worship that he intended the devotee to follow. These detailed regulations are all meant to help the devotee become firmly fixed in the primary regulation of devotional service, as Padma Puran states. Samartyatum satatam Vishnu, smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyam na jatuchit, sarve vidhi nisheda savior, chetor eva kinkara. So, Lord Vishnu or Krishna should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be servant of these two principles. So this is very important, aspect. So we should, anything that we do, okay, all the deity worship procedures. So it is done for remembering the Lord and never forgetting the Lord. Okay, smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyam na jatuchit. Okay, so we should not. And never forget, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. There. Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavad Vidhi. Lord Chaitanya has taught that the primary means of God realization in the age of Kali is to hear and chant the holy names of the Lord. Therefore, Harinam Kirtan is the essential of all practices by which one attains the constant remembrance of Krishna. Still, though devotees can come to the perfection simply by taking the shelter of the holy names, authorities have advised us to engage in deity worship as an auxiliary sadhana to kirtan. For archana helps reduce material contamination and non-devotional tendencies. It also brings steadiness to the materially agitated mind, for it impels us to engage many of our senses in directly serving the Lord's all-attractive form. Srila Prabhupada writes, sometimes neophyte devotees think that they can continue the Shravanam Kirtanam process without worshipping the deity, but the execution of Shravanam Kirtanam is meant for highly developed devotees like Haridas Thakur, who engaged in the Shravanam Kirtanam process without worshipping the deity. However, one should not falsely imitate Haridas Thakur and abandon deity worship just to try to engage in Shravan Kirtana. Deity worship should be continued along with the hearing and chanting. Therefore, every mantra is preceded by the word Namaha. In all mantras, there are specific potencies of which the Grahastha devotees must take advantage. But if one chants the holy name of the Lord, he receives the result of chanting Namaha. That is deity mantra. Many times by chanting the holy names, one of the Lord's holy name of the Lord, one can reach the platform of love of Godhead. One might therefore ask that when the necessity, what then is the necessity of being initiated by which one receives deity mantra? The answer is that even though the chanting of the holy name is sufficient to enable one to progress in spiritual life to the standard of love of Godhead, one is nonetheless susceptible to the contamination because of possessing a material body. Consequently, special stress is given to arcana vidhi. One should therefore regularly take advantage of both Bhagavad vidhi and Pancharatrika vidhi. So I think most of the things here are self-explanatory. Still, I think we will discuss this, that there are two aspects. One is the Bhagavad Vidhi, that is the chanting, and Shravanam Kirtanam, okay, or chanting the holy names of the Lord. And then there is a Pancharatrika Vidhi, which is the worshipping the deities, and both are like the track of the railway, okay, or the train. So both are important. You cannot go on a single track. So you need to balance both. So they are like Bhagavad Vidhi and Pancharatrika Vidhi. They are like the two tracks. So on which our vehicle of devotion life can run smoothly, because there are a lot of contamination due to our previous births. The impressions are there. So that may come anytime. So by performing deity worship, like for example, we will have to be very conscious when we are doing the deity worship. For example, when we take bath, we purify ourselves. Then we do the achman. We need to be focused, chanting each and every mantras and mudras, and there. So then when we think about Lord, or for example, when uh, if you have to dress a deity, okay, then we think, okay, what color suits the Lord, or how should I tie a turban? So when we are constantly thinking, this actually deity worship helps us in constantly, remembering the Lord, like that. How we can dress Lord beautifully, what kind of turban I can make for the Lord, what bhoga I can cook for the Lord. So this actually helps us, constantly remembering. So we do chanting, we chant, attentively the holy names. Similarly, this is also, when we do deity worship also, it purifies us, from the contamination that are there. Temple worship strongly emphasizes the aspect of Vaidhi Bhakti involving strict regulations, which forms the basis of Pancharatrika Vidhi. Pancharatrika Vidhi runs parallel to Bhagavad Vidhi, in which uh, preaching of the Lord's glories and chanting his holy name predominate. When devotees' natural attraction to the Lord's service and the holy name develops, his understanding of the regulations of Pancharatrika matures. Then, although he may be on a platform of Raganuga Bhakti, he will follow the rules of Pancharatrika Vidhi in public temple worship, where the Lord is worshipped as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada explains the relationship between Pancharatrika and Bhagavad Vidhi in Srimad Bhagavatam purports. Lord Narayan is worshipable by the Pancharatrika Vidhi or regulative principle, whereas Lord Krishna is worshipable by Bhagavad Vidhi. No one can worship the Lord in the Bhagavad Vidhi without going through the regulations of Pancharatrika Vidhi. Although there may be a Radha Krishna Vigraha in the or form of worship of the neophyte devotees is acceptable as Lakshmi Narayan worship. worship according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi is called Vidhi Marga, and worship according to the Bhagavat Vidhi is called Raga Marga. If we do not follow the regulative principles on the Vidhi Marga platform and keep our eyes trained to spot offenses, we will not make progress. So here, the deities that we worship, even though they are Radha Krishna deities, or in our temple we have Gaurangi Bangalore Ishwar deities, we worship them with opulence. Okay, so because we worship them as Lakshmi Narayan, because we cannot worship Radha Krishna directly because they are worshipped in Bhagavad Vidhi, okay, on Raga Marga, because we are not pure. So therefore we cannot worship them. So for us, Vidhi Marga or Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is recommended when our senses get purified through the process of Vidhi Marga. Then when we reach to the spontaneous devotional service, that is Raga Marga, then we will be able to develop that relation with the Lord, and then we will be able to worship Him nicely. Are there any questions here, or we can proceed further? The details of this are given in the Nectar of Devotion on the levels of devotional service. Okay. I hope most of the devotees who are attending, they have done the Bhakti Shastri, or at least have read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
No, Prabhuji. Most of the devotees, they have read the Gita. Some of them have read the Nectar of Devotion also. And some of us are undergoing Bhakti Shastri now.
Okay. Fine. So do we have to elaborately discuss this point, or what do you suggest?
Which point, Prabhuji? These Bhagavad Vidhi versus Pancharatrika Vidhi?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. If we can discuss, it will be nice, Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay, fine. So, or what we can do is we will, are there any questions, or is it like, you are able to understand things, or those who are, not read Nectar of Devotion?
Hare Krishna devotees, you can share your opinion. Until now, how much we have been able to understand the concept, or is it too high for us? So at this point, devotees can voice their opinion or share their opinion. Hare Krishna devotees, कुछ bouncer तो नहीं गया ना किसी को?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we can understand Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So then if there are any questions, maybe you can specifically ask. If not, then we continue here. What I'll do is next time I will try to keep it as simple as possible, because maybe I should have asked this question earlier. Then I could have little bit diluted things and or simplified things maybe.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, yes, Madhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, मैं पूछना चाह रही थी कि मंदिर में वो लड्डू गोपाला का जो फोटो रहती है, या ब्रास का है, या वैसे कैसे, तो क्या उसकी पूजा नहीं करनी चाहिए? लड्डू
right. So in ISKCON, we or in our Gauḍīya Parampara, we worship deities along with the Lord, along with His devotees. Okay, so we don't just worship the Lord, like there are only the deity or the photo of Lord Krishna Himself. Okay, in South India it is more prominent, but generally in the Gauḍīya Vaiṣṇava, we worship always with the Lord's associate, that is either Krishna Balaram. Somebody is always there with the Lord. Either it is Radha Krishna, or it is Krishna Balaram or Nitai Chaitanya, like that.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, मैं पूछ रही थी जैसे कृष्ण बलराम और भगवान कृष्ण राधा सहित वो फोटोज तो साथ में अगर लड्डू गोपाला, क्योंकि मैं इसलिए पूछ रही, मेरे पास है, मैं पूजा करती हूँ, तो मुझे जानना चाहिए तो
नहीं
क्या
नहीं,
करना?
आपके पास है तो आप वर्शिप कीजिए उसको,
क्योंकि साथ में ही है।
हाँ बराबर है, राइट राइट। तो इफ यू हैव आपके पास है तो आप आप उनको उनकी पूजा कर सकते हैं।
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है प्रभु, थैंक यू।
Yes. So I think I think it's already 8:35. So can we continue it next week then?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. किसी को और किसी को कोई प्रश्न है? Does anyone have any further questions?
No, Prabhu, all good.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for the session, Prabhuji. When will we start the practical of how to do Achman and all that, practicality?
Yes, I think what I'll do is next week when we meet, I will start with the mantras of the Achman. I will also share the copy with Ashray Govind Prabhu now on WhatsApp, so that he can circulate it with you all, and you try to memorize those 24 Achman mantras. It is similar to, like, most of you are putting tilak, so 12 are already complete, part of that. So another 12 you will have to remember. So every session that we will do, we will chant those mantras, so that you all can pronounce also properly, and you will be able to by heart it. Once you are familiar with that, then we will have a basic Achman first. I will teach you. After that, then I will teach you the elaborate or the complete Achman, Vaishnava Achman. There are many mudras connected to that. So next session we will start Prabhu Achman.
So next will be an offline session, right, Prabhu? Or online itself we can do?
Yeah, we will have online, but we will only be having mantras. We will be learning the mantras. For practical, maybe after 2 sessions, I will come there to your center, and then we'll have mantras. We'll have a complete Achman where we also teach you the mudras.
Online will be convenient to everyone, I think so, because just now Santi Mata spoke. She is staying 25 kilometers far away, and senior citizen also cannot. Yeah, so I think online is better, I think. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, fine. Those are able to attend, in person, they can do that. If those are not able to attend, for them we will continue online sessions. Okay. I will also share maybe videos also of how to do the Achman, but that I will share it later once I show it to you all. There on the Achman later.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very. So thank you all so much for coming and enthusiastically participating. Thank you, Ashray Govind Prabhu, for hosting me here.
We take the opportunity to thank Shri Gaura Karuna Prabhuji. So very mercifully agreed. He did not even think twice. As soon as I asked, he immediately agreed. And on a working day in the evening, thank you, Prabhuji agreed. And we could not find a better devotee than Shri Gaura Karuna Prabhu to train us. He is part of the Deity Worship committee, I mean, a team in the temple, Seshadipuram. So, in fact, he heads the team there. So, we could not find a better devotee than Gaura Karuna Prabhu. So, we take the opportunity to thank Prabhu one time by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Dandavat pranam. Thank you,
So we'll
Prabhu.
be
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhyayevacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo, namo namaha.
This time I'll be seeing Prabhuji in Srivas Angan. Last time I saw Prabhuji in the airport. This time I'll be seeing him in Srivas Angan.
Yes.
I'll go.
This is Revati Randan Prabhuji. So Prabhuji is wondering who this is.
Yeah. While we were going to GEV, we saw Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, devotees. Everyone participated enthusiastically. So let us continue the enthusiasm. So every Tuesday we'll be having these sessions, and most of these sessions will be online, other than the Achaman and these parts, which will be covered offline. So those days also we'll be relaying the lectures online as well. But for them who are able to attend the sessions offline, so they can come to the center. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much, devotees.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.